The squad making sure we all win. Smoke a lot radio, we going all in. Zilla, I'm the host with the most smoke. Rolling up the most dope. Kato got the most jokes. Simone Taylor keep it sexy for the grown folks. I'm OG, tone low, bouncing on them gold spokes. Smoke, we the #1 podcast. Some other shows, all trash. Amber Rose, all ass. Broadcasting live from the coast. Sick committee with the jokes. Come and get your ass broke.
Let me tell you something. Let me make sure distinctively you understand what the most collaborative artist is. There's a lot of people that got more collabs in producing, more collabs in orchestrating. I happen to be the most collaborative artist in hip hop doing what I do, playing balls out, plain and simple. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So, we don't wear our ass on our shoulders when we say that. It's just something that shows a commit to excellence, when you work your buns off in this here game and you're still able to be relevant, which is a blessing to be able to inspire a whole new generation because people grew up off our music. So it's a blessing when a brother comes from the hood, you know what I'm saying? Coming from West Side of Pomona, being able to be the most featured collaborative artist. I never did think about doing that. All I was just doing is just working. I was real on that microphone, that part.
That part, man. Come on, you've been up 37, 47 hours already. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
shit don't stop.
No, it don't stop. Sometimes you got to do that. Yuck, you already know. You can agree with me, brother. It's like, what a perfect time it is to have your autonomy and independence. We already been on platinum plaques already and all that stuff. So thank God for the easy ease and of that time and. Just basically, the too shorts of their time, which are still relevant. Before them, the fathers of the funk, they paved the way for us. You know what I'm saying? And they allowed us to be able, especially in these times, to really capitalize and take and marginalize ourselves from big corporations that basically fucked us. You understand? Yeah. So that's why it's a beautiful time. And you know what I'm saying? It's like you can't tell we our age. You know what I'm saying? You're only young as you feel. You dig?
Exactly. Yeah,
man. Speaking of Pomona story, man, let's hear the Pomona story, man. How did you even get involved with singing, hip hop, and all of that, man? I never knew that story. And then how did it end up with you, linking up with Eazy-E and Ruthless Records, man? Give us that story for Smoke A Lot Radio, bro.
Well, music was in my DNA since I was knee-high to the curb, you dig? My dad was an established writer and composer. Some of the greatest songs you ever heard in the history of the music business, like Just My Imagination, Smiling Faces, Papa Was a Rolling Stone. He did the orchestration on that, direction and all that. And Uncle Willie Hutch is my uncle. So it's kind of like a nigga had the cheek.
So you talking about Hutch? You related to Code 187?
Yeah,
that's his father that did all them legendary songs.
That's our uncle.
Yeah, uncle. I mean,
Uncle Willie Hutch. And if you're a real P in the game, you understand what Uncle Willie Hutch meant to the game. Doing scores for the Mac right now, be there. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, the music industry was the music industry, so it's not like we reaped the benefits. Even back in the days, you seen TLC roll up to the awards in the sidekick, you dig? So It was that type of shit going on regardless. It was a lot of artists out there that did some astronomical shit just for other companies that didn't really know nothing about soul music to reap the benefits. But now, everything then slowed down. So like the good thing about it, going back to the 80s and the 70s was an intricate time for us because we had a chance to be in a big mix, like a big pot of menudo. You understand? We had soul, we had funk, we had the explosion of hip hop with Kool Herc, Sugar Hill, going into Run DMC, Schoolie D, Rakim, all those greats, the Juice Crew, Slick Rick. So in the a little bit before the mid 80s, like around 83 and 84, I took it real serious doing talent shows. And Hutch would always do talent shows. Back then, his name was called B-Boy Hutch. I was called Jay Golden. He had a group called Wizards of Rock. and had a record out in '85, distributed by Rainbow Records in New York. So we was already in the mix in the '80s. I used to try to emulate that style, Playboy Baby, way back in '85. Doing the singing and rapping long before the Drakes. And our dear brother, who's incredible, Nate Dogg. But long before that, it was already in a nigga, not just on a nigga. So when Above the Law got established, they started leaking in 1988. I would think the beginning of '8, and there was hustling, of course. You know what I'm saying? Laylaw and Gomac, being from the University of South Central, would come out to a spot on Sumner and Pomona, and they was doing their thing. So I kind of lost contact of that for like a year or so. But then when I linked back in, my cousin said, man, come over on Candy House. So I went over on Candy's house at 1289 Wall Street. Remember like it's yesterday. Got a memory like an elephant, you dig?
Yeah.
So we went there, and Hutch said, man, that's when I seen the numbers. And you already know about this, Yuck Malcolm, where the numbers used to be at the bottom of the videos, and the heavy set cassette that came out of Bernie Grubbins.
Right.
That's what I was on when I see them niggas, and I seen them niggas with Eazy-E. Yuck, I was like, already was like hyped on Boys in the Hood. I'm like, who these niggas? You know what I'm saying? And then I found out Hutch hooked up with him. Hutch said, I'm gonna take you along the ride. He blessed me, in Pomona over on Candy House, and said, man, we gotta change the name from J Gold real quick. Because my grandmother named me that name. Light-skinned, green-eyed, color-eyed nigga, right? So I said, what's the name, Hutch? Hutch turned around and said, Kokane. I sat back for 8 sevens and said, nigga, to run that shit. That's the dopest name in the game. So that's how that started.
On my mama it is. Hey, I remember coming up and you had the Zigzag album cover. The album cover was like the orange papers, the papers. So, I'm from the University of South Central myself. So when that sound came out, we tailing off the Eazy-E wave and NWA shit. And when Bud Law came and you came with that funk and that, we never heard it like that. You know what I'm saying? And so we like, man, Pomona got it popping like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, we did a 3-song.
One of my favorite album covers.
Man, we did a 3-song demo in 1989 at this spot called Jimmy Hot Tracks Recording Studio. And he was the type of dude didn't want you to pay for the studio, but don't fuck with his equipment. So we was there first. Me and Hutch happened to got through it. And at first I was signed a production deal through Law House, which Laylaw is a contributing member of NWA.
Salute to the big bro, Laylaw.
Yes, sir. That's my big bro. Without him, I wouldn't be where I'm at. The real spill. Them and Above the Law. So when Hutch took me under the wing, we were all like, we used to just make up ideas, harmonies. Kev, rest in peace, would make up harmony. Chaos, Gomac would come with ideas. Laylaw, Hutch would come with ideas. I would do a lot of more singing, and Hutch would build around all of us. And because he was our Quincy Jones, he was the master of ceremonies, orchestrating this together. You know what I mean? So once they shot that to Eazy-E, and it didn't take long for me to sign. And they say, man, we're gonna wait for Above the Law to come out, Living Like Hustlers, and then you gonna come out in 91 as Kokane. But we gonna get this big ass deal. Eazy gonna get this big ass deal because he was considered the first West Coast Russell Simmons. Say that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So he had Poor Broken Lonely, yeah. And it was Poor Broken Lonely, Above the Law, and Kokane. And I was to come out next under after Above the Law, most prolific album, one of the most prolific albums, Living Like Hustlers. You know what I'm saying? So
let me not pause the story. Let's rewind. Poor Broke Homies. That's the one that made This Is For My Homies, right?
Yeah, Poor Broken Lonely.
Poor Broken Lonely. That's
where Chris the Glove and them come from.
Right, but what they song was called?
They had a song. I forgot what their song was, to tell you the truth.
Who you talking about, Yuck, is Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
They got the same type of name.
Yeah. So, but when we signed the Epic Records, it was the big shit. Ruthless Records signed a multi-million-dollar deal. And right before, because we had so much hype on Kokane, especially after Above the Law, Living Like Hustlers, You know, that shit was like everywhere, like crack, my nigga.
That
So
shit changed. I'm gonna tell you how I landed in
changed
Oakland,
the game.
Nigga. Oakland,
Yeah.
we like that funk. You know what I mean? Too Short had that funk, nigga, and everybody else was rocking with that funk. When Above the Law came, they had that funk, nigga. You know what I mean? That Living Like a Hustler, the actual song, nigga, that was the hustle, nigga, the hustle.
When it came on, that boom, thick boom, thick boom, thick boom, that thing came on.
Look,
Come on,
man,
my nigga, then that Black Superman, nigga.
But the album with Above the Law was so instrumental to Ruthless and Dr. Dre, because the majority of the ideas was already done by Code 187 and Above the Law. They took it to him, you know, Dr. Dre put his icing on the cake on it, and you have voila, a masterpiece. So after going back, let's go forward. 91, right before my record was gonna come out, Epic decided to get scary and say, no, we're gonna change the name Kokane to Who Am I? So when niggas was going to Abbey Roads and meetings and going to all that shit, niggas was looking for cocaine. And it was like, who the fuck is this record? Who am I? So
they changed your name to Who Am I?
Yeah, they tried to change it. The first record was called Nickel Slick Nigga, which I did with my homeboy from Big Ralphie. He was in the video. It was fly. But then Easy and them, all of us was pissed. Layla, Brother Law, Easy, Eric. And that situation led them to eventually Relativity. The first record came out, but then Easy and them and Hutch and Dr. Dre was so adamant about cocaine, they said, well, fuck it, man. We're going to put you on the intro of Niggas for Life album, introducing the character called Sweet Talk. Oh, wait a minute. My goddamn thing came off.
Hey, that's easy. That's easy. Giving you a high five.
Hey, yeah. Pro Broken Lonely had the song Twisted.
Yeah, Twisted.
Twisted.
When the bitches start turning the lesbian joint.
Right. Yeah. See, I thought they had This Is For My Homie.
But you was close.
No, that's later.
You was close.
Yeah.
But then it gave us a chance once we got with Relativity. You got to realize once Easy made that deal, we moved from Living Like Hustlers more into a sonic parliament psychedelic sound. You know, and that's where the origins and the birth of like Black Mafia life, and really the first record we did, we had a song called Never Missing a Beat. I'm not bragging, just not the legging. You don't want to fuck with me. That was like the real birth of this sound called G-Funk. You know, that we didn't know we didn't want to be called Parliament Babies. We didn't want to be called P-Funk All-Stars. We slowed it down. Dr. Dre asked Hutch in the car, what y'all call that shit? Hutch told Dre, we call that shit G-Funk. Straight face. Wow. So that's when
Black
Mafia life